Hi, this is Sam Henrik. Today I'm going to show you how to backtest MetaTrader 4 expert advisors over historical data. This is a great way to try to answer the question what would have happened with a particular strategy. And every time I go out on the internet and I purchase a different Forex trading robot, or I might create one myself, I like to backtest it over at least a year's worth of data to try to see what would have happened. And I'd like to give a disclaimer here that it's not perfect. You can't just look at the back-tested results and think, wow, this is exactly what would have happened in my account if I had been trading it. And I think far too many people get sucked into that, and they see these MetaTrader strategy performance reports posted out there on the internet, and they think, wow, I would be a multi-millionaire if I had just started 6 months ago, or whatever some of these reports show. So it's not a complete waste of time, though, either. It does give you a good indication on the general direction of what an account would have done over the past, but there's a lot of variables that make it not too accurate, and one of those being the spread. You're paying on every trade, you're paying a spread to the broker, and when you get historical data and you're testing it, that's not necessarily the spread that you would have been paying to your broker, and sometimes it's variable, and it's really hard to get a very accurate picture. But backtesting, in my opinion, is the first step in order to evaluate a particular robot or strategy. After backtesting for a while, and if those results looked good, then I would move on to forward testing. You might have heard that term before, but that just means running it in a live setting, but with a demo account. You're playing with Monopoly money. You just want to let it run for several weeks and really see in a real life trading environment what it would be doing. And that's a far more accurate way to judge it. But then it doesn't stop there. After forward testing, to get a real true picture how a system is going to work, then you want to do it with a live account with your broker. You might not jump in and trade thousands and thousands of dollars right at the beginning. Maybe you'll start with a small amount. Maybe you'll if there's a parameter to adjust the risk that each trade is taking, or how much risk you're taking on any given trade, you might want to start with that really low right at the beginning, just to test it out. But those are my 3 steps that I always do. I backtest, then I forward test, and then I trade it live with a small amount of money. And if it passes all those tests and it looks good, then I'll ramp it up and trade it with quite a bit of money. So let's get started here. The first thing you might be thinking is, well, it's fairly obvious how to backtest. Right in MetaTrader, there's a strategy tester. And I'll open it up here so you can see. Or did I might have already had it open. So there's a strategy tester, and you can pick which EA that you want to test and what market. I'll zoom in here. Sorry about that, so you can see what market or currency pair that you want to use to test. And there's some other factors here. Which date range you want to test from, what time period, and after all that you hit start. Well, that's partially true, but it's not that easy. You might have seen a strategy tester output like this one. You might have seen these posted on the internet, or you might have done this yourself. And you'll see a graph here of the equity of the account, what would have happened for the time period I was testing. I'll zoom in here. You'll see this 86.45%. What this is basically saying is the quality of the backtested results, and the higher this number, the more accurate it is going to be. I don't really trust anything below a 90%. If it's less than 90, it means it didn't have really good quality data in the past. You might not have enough of a small time frame data, like a 1 minute historical data, something like that. So if I see results that are less than 90%, while it does, yes, it gives you a general idea what would have happened, I kind of throw them out, and I'd like to see a 90% there. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. It's not really that hard, but there are quite a few steps involved. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do if I'm going to backtest a robot is I want to make sure I have a completely separate installation of MetaTrader on my computer. I don't like to mess around with the one I use for live trading. I'd rather keep it completely separate. And it is very valid and perfectly okay to have multiple instances of MetaTrader running at any given time on your computer. So you could have one copy of MetaTrader that's minimized, that's maybe doing some live trading. You can open up a completely separate MetaTrader and use it for backtesting, and the two don't interfere with each other, which is really, really nice. I use that feature all the time. Now, you can't just have one installation of MetaTrader and open it multiple times. That won't work. You actually have to install the program several times on your computer and install it to different folders. So what I did is I installed it. Here we go to Program Files. My first installation went to Best Direct MT4. That's my broker's version of MetaTrader. I'll scroll down here. You'll see I have another one here, Best Direct MT4_2. This is what you should do right now. You should go to your broker's website or wherever you got MetaTrader in the first place, download it again, run the installation program, and when it asks you where to install it to, just name the folder something different. Okay, I'm not going to demonstrate the process of downloading it and installing it here on this video. It would just be way too long. But please, if you have any questions, post them to the forum, and myself or somebody will help you out there. I suggest that if you're following along with this whole process, I suggest just pausing the video now or stopping it, downloading it, installing it to a separate folder, then resume the video, and then you'll be on the same page for the rest of the video. So try that out, and then we'll be ready to continue. Okay, so once you have a separate copy of MetaTrader installed, you want to make sure that it's not running. So I'm gonna close it down now, so I don't have it running anymore. I'll minimize this window. So I want you to go in, just like I showed you before, to your program files, and I want you to find the folder you just installed it to. So in my case, it's Best Direct MT4_2. I want you to go into that folder, and you'll see a folder in here called History. Go into the History, and you'll see a couple folders there. This is history data that's provided by your broker. So some brokers provide better data than others, but I want to show you a way that we can guarantee that we're going to have 90% or greater quality of backtested results. So I just want you to go inside the history folder, and I want you to delete every single folder you see in there. I'm going to drag it over to my recycle bin. Done. Gone. History. The history is history. Okay, so we've got an empty history folder now. So at this point, now we can open up the brand new MetaTrader we just installed. I'm going to go to Start, All Programs, and you'll see Best Direct MT4_2. So I'm going to run that one. And here we are. You'll notice here, I'll zoom in, I've got this already tied to a demo account because I've already had this this copy of MetaTrader on the computer. For you though, the first time you run this new copy of MetaTrader, it's going to ask you to open up a demo account, and do it. Go for it. Sign up for a new demo account if you don't have one already. If you already have a demo account you'd like to use with this, you could just go ahead and log in. File, log in, and you can log in with the demo account credentials. But we want to tie this one to a demo account.